national spotlight put on him, he immediately nukes his entire community's Discord server. That's totally not suspicious whatsoever. And this also comes after a portion of his stream that we did cover in yesterday's video, where he told his audience to basically get it together, to stop saying crazy extreme stuff because it's making him look bad. He is very nervous about this. Do not be fooled. On top of that, you can see this whole rhetoric being reflected in his own chat. This is a highlight here showing his chat as Hassan shares the manifesto of the shooter from that attack. Look at it. It's all heart emojis. It's all heart emojis, and it's like sympathy for the guy. This is the community he has fostered, and I told you guys yesterday, he is so audience captured, he has to deal with these people, because if he condemned these attacks, for example, he'd be crucified by his own community. So this is what he has fostered, and now he's dealing with it. And he's trying to pander to them in some not so subtle ways, where in his reaction to the shooter saying free Palestine as he was arrested, this is how he described the events.
But like I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so fucking crazy that it's like you could not have fucking designed a incident like this. You could not have designed a better false flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that. I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe, you know, a little bit brain broken. Okay.
Yeah, so if you were not born yesterday, you understand what he's trying to do here. He's basically saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This looks like a giant PSYOP campaign, but it's actually not though, guys. He's saying this to a very unhinged audience who will believe in stuff like this because they are in fact very unhinged and they've been fed a lot of extremist opinions for a very long time. Now, watching all of this unfold, he got very upset on Twitter because people were starting to criticize him, and Hassan started to crash out there as well, where he said this, LMAO still going by the way, you're an immensely privileged, wealthy YouTuber who's using the backdrop of a live-streamed child holocaust to try and make drama slop as you call for deplatforming of pro-Palestinian voices. Have some effing dignity. You're not the victim, just a narcissist. Holy projection. He just described himself. Brother, you are the wealthy YouTuber who's trying to profit off of a crisis. This is you profiting off of a conflict that you are talking about on a daily basis. And then down here, have some dignity, you're not the victim, from the guy who constantly plays the victim 24/7. And then again, he says, drama slop. You're the slop, dude. I'm the slop. We're all the slop. All the people involved with this, it's just slop. Stop acting like you're above and beyond everyone. This is just YouTube content at this point. So if this guy thinks he's somehow special or unique, he is just the same as all the drama slop he's constantly calling out. And here's another one. It says 2 Israeli embassy officials get killed, and Ethan Klein predictably moves to make the movement about himself from the comfort of his mansion as the criminal state his community keeps defending continues with its unlimited child murder. Holy projection. This guy lives in a $3 million LA mansion, and he's trying to shame Ethan Klein for working from the comfort of his own home. This is insane. It almost like, I feel like he has to be trolling at some level. Like maybe I'm giving him way too much benefit of the doubt. Is he like in on this? Does he know that he's making these statements that are going to be instantly categorized as projection? Is he just trying to get attention? I don't know at this point, but of course he's been talking a lot about Ethan Klein, who has been having a hell of a time on places like Instagram, sharing his reaction to everything unfolding with Hassan Piker and Twitch as well, and also all the orbiters in Hassan's circle here. And yeah, I guess he has every right to, because he's the one who was the subject of the content cop by iDubbbz, and he's had the debate with Hassan. And as you can see, iDubbbz, he's also crashing out at the moment, and he's someone who is currently on a generational fall off. Recently, he went after Ethan Klein, calling him the new king of incels, which is not just watering down an already abused term, but with Ethan Klein, I mean, not only is he married, he has children. He is definitionally not an incel. So keep this in mind, because the term incel and how it's used is going to be very important in a couple seconds. But you can see right here, there was a very ill-advised collaboration he did with this retired-looking e-boy here, where they talked about what they phrase as Skullgate. Now, for context, before we watch this clip, he's referring, or they're referring to a situation where 2 human skulls were mailed to Ethan Klein. Conveniently, by the way, he has 2 children, and this was all during a very big attack on his family, including the false reports to CPS on his family as well.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny.
Yeah. Just a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah, was it a death threat?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Skulls.com with the serial number still attached and the packaging still on it.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was linked as like was it a response to my content column? Or was that before? I don't even remember.
Do you think he sent the skulls himself?
I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't endorse sending skulls to anyone's houses.
Yeah, as you can see here, iDubbbz is really flashing off his recently found empathy, where he's basically saying that having 2 human skulls mailed to your house, that, by the way, from skulls.com, it costs thousands of dollars to do this. He's saying that's just a funny joke. Like, imagine that. I definitely bet if Ian and his wife Anissa had 2 human skulls mailed to his home during a feud where people were targeting his family, they would definitely think it's a big, funny joke. It's all a big haha. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This guy is such a fraud. He's sitting here trying to act like he's the guy filled with empathy, and yet he's making light of this situation and involves his former friend. It's disgusting. This guy's fall off, like I said, has been absolutely generational. And in response to this clip being shared around, Ethan Klein decided to share some information on iDubbbz, where he said this: "I never planned on sharing that story, but after seeing him call these skulls humorous, I realize there is nothing they won't say or do, and so I'm returning the favor. My boy has not been so much as touched by the opposite sex before Anissa. In itself, it's not a big deal, but in the context of their relationship, I find it very humorous." Now, the reason I'm talking about this, I'm going to go further, is that Ian and his wife Anissa have weaponized the term incel to insult other people, including Ethan Klein. And before his relationship with Anissa, and it seems like iDubbbz has confirmed this, by the way, he had never been with a woman. And that would be, his mid to late 20s. And again, on paper, it's not a bad thing. Like, not losing your virginity until you're with the person you end up marrying, a lot of people would think that's very admirable. But this guy is shaming others in the same situation he was in and trying to weaponize the term incel to insult people. As we saw, Ian called Ethan the king of incels, and this was his response to that story being shared. He doesn't deny it, and he says he wants that incel audience bad. This doesn't even make sense. What is he saying?
Pillage the village.
What? Ethan in his videos made jokes about iDubbbz getting hit in the head too many times during his short boxing career. And maybe he's onto something, because this makes no sense, dude. Why would he be trying to get an incel audience while low-key kind of shaming people for being incels. Like, that's kind of like the crux of what he's saying. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This response is embarrassing. But, of course, Anissa has to weigh in on this, where she replies saying, why are you so sexually invested in us? Do I phone 911 a priest? Who do I call to get him help? Again, they're pretending that they actually care about anyone's mental health. That was apparently the whole reason for the original content cop on Ethan Klein. IDub said he was really concerned about his mental health and you wanted to help him, which was a complete farce and just really a manipulative way of going about all this. But as you can see, Anissa saying, why are you so invested in our activities? Well, of course, again, not only is iDubbbz constantly weaponizing the term incel and implying things about Ethan and his life, but of course, she does the same. And really, Anissa, by the way, has been on a also generational crash out at the moment. She has been very upset since the backfire of the content cop on Ethan Klein made by her husband. And of course, this was her response to one of Ethan Klein's posts where, let me just give context here, she once again shared the wild theory that Ethan Klein is on drugs and that explains why he has certain tics. And of course, those tics she's referring to are a result of his Tourette's. So the person who's shamed others for ableism in the past, as I've talked about before, is now blaming tics from Tourette's on drugs, which is even worse because she's not just some random person on the internet. This is someone who was friends with Ethan Klein and his wife for nearly a decade. She knows he has Tourette's, and she's still propagating these lies about him being on drugs and that being the reason for his tics. It's disgusting. But this was her response. No way he's on the full alt-right incel pipeline again. You're using the term incel. Now, are you the one who's so invested in what he's doing in the privacy of his home? It's very, very strange. And also, we have this as one of the responses to that previous statement where she said, Ian was too nice in his content cop. Trust me, if I was pulling the strings, I would have looked a lot different. It would have looked a lot different. No mercy for creepy, misogynistic losers who can't handle criticism. Yeah, the whole thing that people say about Anissa constantly emasculating Ian, she's never beating those allegations. I cannot imagine personally my wife taking to social media and saying, you didn't go hard enough in your video. I would have done a better job. I would have actually put the people who were the subject in their place better than my husband who didn't have enough teeth for this. Like, this is embarrassing. And again, she's been having a crash out. This post has become a meme where she said, it's okay to find me attractive and still hate me. I know it's confusing for some of you. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. And the memes that have come out of this are absolutely hilarious. And it's funny too, because like, despite what anyone wants to say about me, I never attack people's personal appearances in the way that a lot of people are mocking this post, but it just shows like they think being attractive is like a shield for criticism. And also just, this is clearly very narcissistic the way they're going about this. And again, like I've made videos talking about Anissa before, and her appearance doesn't matter at all because the things she says online are just that stupid. And if you look at her most recent post, she said, why does Ethan Klein hate hot people? That was her response to Ethan's latest stories he shared on Instagram. Interesting set of crash outs, that's for sure, but that's going to do it for this video. As for now, with these situations, as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
For now.